Joe and Jay,
Coming back at you.
it's the weekend.
It is the weekend.
It's a Saturday here in dirty Jersey. And Joe and I had already discussed we're heading over to eat all the donuts. And we wanted to talk about some strategies to be successful on the weekend, as well as just understanding how important the weekend is. I think one thing people neglect is like, oh, I can have a little leeway. The weekend is literally over 25% of your week. So imagine anything else in life where you can just completely fuck up a quarter of it and still be successful. Can you?
No.
Relationships?
Absolutely.
Work? Probably not, right?
No, God, no.
Hey, honey, I'm really nice 75% of the time. Does that count? No.
That'd be nice to you Monday to Friday.
So, and your nutrition is no different.
100%. This is a 7-day-a-week eating. It's an eating lifestyle. And I think the one thing that we fight the most is unwinding your cheat days or work week syndrome, right? So I get up Monday to Friday, there's structure, I can plan it out. Your weekends are no different, they're just another day. Now, you can have some strategy to it because your days are structured a little differently, but it doesn't give you the right to kind of go crazy or just shut off completely like we were saying.
And so my first tip would be, regardless of if you're going to be perfect or not, track your day.
100%.
So I put up a video the other day or a couple weeks ago, and it was about, we can only improve things that we measure. So if you just decide, so for example, we go to Smorgasbord and I'm like, you know what? This food looks so delicious. I'm going to eat all of it. I'm going to track it. Because at least now I have an idea of
and it doesn't
where
have to
I'm
be
at.
perfect, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I don't know
somewhere-
what's in the donuts from
right.
dough
It's
or
not trackable. So
whatever a
what,
poke
so,
is.
Right. So like, let's say you get a burger, right? Like it's
Sounds
not
delicious.
it's not Five Guys and it's not something that
Wendy's.
Wendy's that you can track. You get it at a mom and pop, like at a stand, right? Should you not eat it, or should you not track it, or should what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, I think I'm guilty of losing sight of the fact that this is flexible.
Right.
I get sometimes stressed. I've been traveling or I'm gone on the weekends and it gets overwhelming, but simply tracking, even if not 100% accurate, is so much better than not tracking at all.
I couldn't agree more. Even if it's 80 or 90% accurate, it's fine. It's fine. As long as you're tracking and you're making an effort, it's better than what you would have done.
And another, right, better than what I would have done. So realistically, I'm not going to blow away my numbers at this event.
Right.
But say I get to the point where...
But it's really easy to.
Oh, very easy to.
know?
But if I get to the point where I've got, X amount of carbs and fat left and realize, all right, I'm going to plug in a donut. Say it's from Dunkin' Donuts, even though I'm eating at a local place.
Right.
I would have had 2.
Right.
But if I realize, okay, well, 1 puts me where I should be, I'm going to stop. I'm going to be smarter about that. I'm going to be less likely to overindulge simply because I kept track.
Right. Do you have a weekend strategy you typically go by?
Depending on what's going on for the weekend. If I'm home and, eating out of the house, it's no different because my Monday through Friday is the same thing.
Right.
I'm home, I'm working out, I'm not doing a whole lot. If I have to travel, depending on where, oftentimes I wind up traveling to the same few locations around Florida for seminars, and I have an idea of where we're going to eat. My weekend strategy is just very simply planning ahead is key. So I'll give you a typical weekend of travel. I'm in Miami, for example, and I'll eat really well Friday. I'll pack my food. I know I'm going to drive. I call the hotel and I say, hey, is there a refrigerator and a microwave? Yes, cool, I bring my food. Just like we discussed in a previous video, I load up on protein throughout the day. So in the morning, I might have a pack of turkey to get 30 grams of protein. After I work out, I might have a wrap or some more meat to get some carbs in.
Right.
And then I know at the end of the day when I go to dinner, whether it's Mexican or Italian or some hamburger stand, I can easily catch up on my carbs and fat. And then if I don't, it's so simple. A pack of Twizzlers or Swedish Fish gives you 100 grams of carbohydrate.
Easy.
So the same thing I would tell anyone, like we discussed earlier, just make sure to stay on top of that protein,
Right.
and you can always catch up on the rest of the foods.
Right. My strategy is something similar to that. I try to have 50 to 70% of my protein by 2 o'clock on a Saturday or Sunday. So right now I'm eating 170 grams of protein a day. I'm trying to knock out 120 grams roughly by 2 o'clock. That way I'm not overeating at night, right? And I'm not starving, because it's really easy to leave big gaps of time, especially on the weekends, right? I wake up, I work out, I'm lazing around the house, I'm not necessarily thinking about it, or I'm out and about and I'm running errands and I'm not necessarily stopping to get food. That's the times that I'm using my shakes, or I'm really trying to focus on getting that protein earlier in the day.
Well, one thing you said to me earlier when we were making those shakes is, hey, now we're going to show up at Smorgasburg. Or, is it Smorgasburg?
No, smorgasbord.
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 Schmorgas.
Schmorgas.
Schmorgas, like a nice,
Schmorgas.
like a nice Jewish schma. And
it's a smorgasbord,
you
baby.
said, hey, have this so you're not ravenous when I get there.
Right.
And I feel it, because now I've had that shake and I had a bagel to get a little bit of carbohydrates in, and I'm super excited about what we're about to eat,
Right.
but I don't feel like I'm starving.
Yeah.
Because if I would have got there starving, no one would have liked to be around me.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing, is that, like, if you go out on a Saturday night and you haven't eaten all day,
Done.
you're blown.
It's
through
harder
your
to
nose.
make smart decisions.
You're setting yourself up for failure at that point.
That's a great way to wrap this up. Set yourself up for success.
Absolutely.